So for your butterfly, you will need a white sheet of paper, mine is 6 by 6 inches, markers in the color of your butterfly, a fine tip and regular tip Sharpie, a pencil, white acrylic paint, a pair of scissors, some form of liquid glue, a dotting utensil, a small binder clip or paper clip, and small pieces of plastic to be your butterfly's antennas. First, fold the paper from point to point. Now fold it from side to side. Now this part is a little bit tricky. You're going to take these sides right here and fold them in the opposite direction, making them fold in. Now push them together and flatten it to form a triangle. It should look like this when you're finished. Now have the center point facing you. Take one of the corners and match it up along this line. Now you can see how it's really taking shape. Now take this bottom corner, flip it over, fold it up and over this top bit here. Now we're going to fold it over and turn it around. Now you can really see the butterfly shape. But to make this more realistic, we're going to cut the corners and make them rounded. You want to make the rounded edges look very similar since a butterfly is symmetrical on both sides. So now we're going to begin coloring our butterfly. You may want a scrap piece of paper while doing this, but it is not completely necessary. Coloring this butterfly is easiest whenever it is unfolded and flat. We're going to begin with the color 055 in this area of the butterfly. First, start off by making lines towards the center. This is why the scrap piece of paper comes in handy. Go in with the mid-tone. I'm using 933. Blend into it, just color over it slightly. Now go back in with the lighter color and blend the two. So go in with 925 and color from about here and back onto that mid-tone. Make sure not to color too far over in this direction because we're going to add little yellow dots. And we don't want to have to color over a darker color. Now go back in with that lighter color and blend using quick brush-like strokes. This is how your butterfly should look at the end of the color stage. It's easiest to look up a picture of your butterfly so that you can make the lines more accurate. I'm going to be sketching them first in pencil and then outlining them with a fine Sharpie and then going over them with a regular Sharpie in the end. So for Monarch Butterfly, they typically have a part that goes around here. It curves right about there, or a little further up. Then the part underneath goes out a little more. They typically have 3 little sections in this area. I like to start out with the curves and then go in with the lines. We will make the lines better as we outline them, but this is just a guide for whenever we are ready to do that. Now for the bottom wings, they typically have a long section that goes down the entire length of the wing. They also tend to have a section that goes along the other side. And they usually have 4 to 5 midsections. Some of them also have little yellow dots in this area, and orange lines in this area. This is how it should look when you're finished. My lines are fairly light, but I hope you can still see them. Now we're going to go in with our finer Sharpie and go over the lines that we just drew. I made the pencil lines fairly light so that they wouldn't be noticeable if I got the sketch lines wrong. To make the lines thicker, we're going to go over them with a regular tipped Sharpie. This will also make shaky lines less noticeable. Now is the time when you'll color in these dots and these stripes. After you're done doing this, let your ink dry for at least 5 minutes, if not 30. You don't want your ink to smudge because it will make it look unrealistic. Now you can fill in these areas with your regular black marker. Notice how since I used the Sharpie, the outlines don't smudge. If I used this marker on the outlines as well, it would pick up the other colors and make it runny. Now once you have this colored in, I also like to color in places that could be seen with this black marker. These are all of the places that I colored in with a black marker, just to make sure that no one would see any parts of the white paper. Make sure you let the black ink dry for a really long time since it tends to smudge everywhere. Now it is time to glue this corner up onto the butterfly. Place a couple dots of glue at the top, fold it over, and clamp it down with a binder clip or paper clip. As the glue dries, we're going to put our white dots on the butterfly. You could also use the tip of a pencil or pen, and you're just going to make dots like this on the black parts of your butterfly. Once you're finished with your dots, it should look something like this. Now just leave your butterfly to let the glue and paint dry completely. Now we are going to put the antennas on our butterfly. Do this by turning the butterfly upside down and gluing the antennas like this. You can use regular school glue, but hot glue will be a better option. And you're done!